traffic jams have long been an unfortunate part of modern urban life. The frustration of being stuck in gridlock is a common experience for many people, but the risk of traffic jams doesn't only occur on land. It can also unfold on the open sea. One of the most iconic maritime traffic jams is the Suez Canal blockage that occurred in March 2021. The Ever Given, one of the largest container ships in the world, ran aground in the canal, blocking passage for 6 days. This incident disrupted global trade and highlighted how maritime traffic jams can have far-reaching consequences. The Suez Canal, located in Egypt, was officially opened on February 17, 1867, and it was inaugurated for navigation on November 17, 1869. The canal has played a crucial role in the maritime world ever since. The Suez Canal is approximately 120 miles long. It stretches from Port Said on the Mediterranean Sea to Suez on the Red Sea. This artificial waterway allows ships to bypass the lengthy and hazardous journey around the southern tip of Africa, making it a vital shortcut in international maritime trade. In 1967, when Egypt's relations with Israel were extremely strained, tensions between the two nations escalated to the point where a war could break out at any moment. 15 cargo ships entered the Suez Canal on June 5, 1967. They intended to reach the Red Sea after the next 12 hours of travel, but these people were unaware that their 12-hour journey was equivalent to 8 years. The ships had only completed half of their journey in the Suez Canal when the war between Egypt and Israel broke out. During the brief war that took place from June 5 to 10, Israel occupied the West Bank, the Golan Heights, the Gaza Strip, and the Sinai Peninsula. A ceasefire was achieved in less than a week, and when the gunfire ceased, the Suez Canal became the ceasefire line to the south. Egypt ordered the complete closure of the canal and clarified that if any ships were to move or if any Israeli ships attempted to enter, they would be violating the ceasefire. To ensure that no one could use the canal, the Egyptians cleared debris, sank old ships, and laid landmines to make the canal impassable. As a result, the convoy of 14 ships that were transiting the canal on June 5 became trapped in the Great Bitter Lake, a 100-square-mile saltwater body located in the southern part of the waterway. The convoy consisted of commercial ships from 8 different countries. Initially, the ship crews were not informed of anything due to a total restriction on information reaching the ships. Egypt prohibited them from using radios and imposed police guards on each ship. In the following weeks and months, shipping companies endeavored to obtain permission to repatriate their ship crews, while the United Nations continued negotiations to reopen the canal. After 3 months, a compromise was finally reached. Egypt refused to reopen the Suez Canal but allowed the trapped crews on the 14 ships to leave and be replaced by other personnel. The men happily returned home, but over time, some of them returned to the canal to carry out other duties. For the passengers and crew members trapped in the canal, life was a mix of uncertainty and isolation. The ships were often retrofitted to provide basic facilities and accommodations for those on board. The ship crews kept the mechanisms of their respective ships operational, occasionally circling the lake to keep the engines running, hoping to be let go at any time. They were forced to gather in the middle of the lake and became known as the Yellow Fleet due to the accumulated sand color on their ships. Over time, friendships developed among people from different countries who were experiencing this unique hardship. Some of the cargo on the ships was damaged or no longer usable after years of being stranded. However, many ships carried valuable or perishable goods, posing logistical challenges. Saving and preserving these goods required ingenuity and resourcefulness. The Suez Canal remained closed for several years after the war, and it wasn't until 1975 that the canal was officially reopened for navigation after extensive cleaning and repairs. For the ships and their crews, the end of the grueling ordeal of 8 years had arrived. However, after 8 years, many of them were in such disrepair that they couldn't move and had to be towed or moved by cranes. Severe ship congestion is not only happening in the Suez Canal. Recently, ship congestion has also occurred in the Panama Canal, where over 200 ships are stranded on both sides of the canal after canal authorities restricted the number of transits due to a severe drought. The Panama Canal, connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, is one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. However, due to the impact of climate change, water levels have decreased, leading to traffic congestion in its vicinity. This canal relies on rainwater and runoff from the surrounding mountains to lift ships to the elevation of Gatun Lake, which is one of the bodies of water that supplies the canal. Lake Gatun has experienced a significant drop in depth to its lowest point in the last 7 years. This has resulted in a substantial decrease in the water level in the canal, forcing the Panama Canal authorities to limit the number of ships that can pass each day, capped at 32. With these conditions in place, it has caused congestion at the entrances on both sides of the Panama Canal, and some ships have had to wait for over 20 days to transit through the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal authorities have also implemented several operational changes to conserve water. This includes reducing the amount of water used to flush the canal and requiring ships to sail at slower speeds. These changes have further diminished the canal's capacity and have contributed to traffic congestion. This traffic congestion has a significant impact on global trade, as the Panama Canal is a major shipping route. With these delays, it has caused cargo to pile up at both ends of the canal, leading to higher shipping costs and delays in the delivery of goods. The Panama Canal authorities are working to address this traffic congestion. They are increasing the number of locks that are open each day and are working to improve efficiency at the ports at both ends of the canal. This traffic congestion is a significant challenge for the Panama Canal. However, the canal is a resilient institution and has overcome challenges in the past. The Panama Canal Authority is confident that the canal will be able to weather this situation and continue to play a vital role in global trade.